r/askreddit. Doctors of Reddit, what's your thank God they came in for a second opinion moment?
I am a semi-retired physician, and I don't believe in second opinions. I much prefer two first opinions.
So what you're saying is go to Dr. A, give symptoms, get diag. Then go to Dr. B without telling them you've been to a doctor yet and get their diag as well. What if there were a bunch of expensive tests ran at Dr. A? Do you just casually bring up, "Oh, I had that rain already, I'll have it sent over"? This has just been the story of my life, getting different diags from different docs for varying things. I had a lot of anxiety diagnosis leading to my physical digestive issues until a doc finally tested me for a freaking milk allergy. This was just one of several.
I had a lot of anxiety diagnosis leading to my physical digestive issues. The hand-waving by doctors is one of the more infuriating things about G issues.
Her nurse here had a lady in for simple pneumonia. Her 13-year-old son was getting bored, so I showed him some equipment. I connected a simple heart monitor to him and discovered he was in a complete heart block. I printed a strip and showed it to the doc. We suddenly and unexpectedly got a Cardia C patient.
This is one of those kooky things you expect to see on a medical drama, not in real life. That's kind of amazing.
I'm not a doctor, but I originally went into the doctors because I was really tired. The doctor waved it off, but my mom insisted I should get a CBC, complete blood count. They found that my platelet were extremely low, which resulted in them running additional tests to find that I actually had acute lymphoproliferative leukemia. No idea to this day why my mom made me go back to get a QBC, but I'm grateful.
My grandmother had her hip replaced, but the hip always hurt to her. She waited a year, hoping it would go away, but it never did. She asked multiple doctors and did multiple doctors and did multiple x-rays, but doctors said the replaced hip was fine. We finally made her go to a private clinic in my hometown, and the doctor saw that the replaced hip was fine and dandy, but the bone around it looked like it was a tad bit eaten by bacteria. So the new doc did an operation, and there was so much pus in the leg it was insane. If my grandmother waited any longer, her blood would become infected and she would have died. Thank goodness she went to the clinic.
I was like 10 and my parents took me to the Dr. Q's. I thought I broke my leg skateboarding. He said it was a third-degree sprain, told me it'd be fine. I pointed out lines in the x-ray and he said they were nothing. I somehow convinced my mom to take me somewhere else, and they confirmed I had multiple hairline fractures in my growth plate.
Multiple hairline fractures in my growth plate. Fucking growth plate injuries, dog. I fractured my tibia and my growth plate, and limped from 7th grade to freshman year.
Wife went to ER for pain in her pelvic region. Ultrasound showed a mass, probably an ovarian cyst, they said. It will pop in time. Leave it alone. Went to the doctor about a week later, had a surgery to pull it out maybe a month later. Did a biopsy on the mass. It was ovarian cancer. She is now cancer-free, but what the F?
This guy was told he had pink eye. He had metal shards in his eye from welding.
I got a moderate traumatic brain injury in October, and the week after I got home from the hospital I wasn't acting like myself, was refusing to eat, and just didn't make much sense. My mum called the doctor a few times. They said it was normal, but to take me in if anything changed. She took me in on the Saturday a week later because I started slurring my speech and was unsteady on my feet. The injury caused my sodium levels to drop from 140 normal to 119. This in turn caused stroke-like symptoms, which were in reality a series of small seizures.
Electrolyte imbalances and no effing joke. Glad you're okay.
One of my sister's friends was diagnosed with cancer at age 10. They were advised to pack up their stuff and move across the country to go to a specialist because they would have to stay there for at least a year. They even had to hire a private plane so she wouldn't get sick on the plane from any passengers. Well, before they left, they got a second opinion saying it was pneumonia. Then they got a third that again said was pneumonia. Now, several years later, she is healthy and never got cancer treatment and has been tested for cancer regularly.
I have been diagnosed with cancer several times, but all have been wrong, thank God.